Sure. So my name is Mark Sanchi, and I'm vice president of my company, which is an automation distributor. So while my training is as a chemical engineer, for the last 25 years, my business has been working with companies to help them with their automation projects. So think robotics, think the old show that was called How It's Made. That's what I do. I go to plants, I go to manufacturers, and I help automate processes. Sure. So as I mentioned, I am by training a chemical engineer. I have a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering. And I started out working for a company, a very well-known company that manufactures soap products. So think dishwashing detergent, hand soap, laundry detergent. And I spent 4 years working with that company as a young engineer, designing and working with those processes to make soap products. And during that time, I worked with a lot of the automated machinery, which really led me into a career in automation, working directly with companies to design and then eventually supply those automation components. That's one of the things about this job that's so fun. Every day is different. I have 50 employees that I manage, but still every day I work with customers who manufacture products and goods across the 4-state region, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So today, as an example, I was working with a company that makes machinery that manufactures carpeting. And then I was working with a company on a process that makes biscuits and the cans that the biscuits go in. And before that, I was working with a company that makes the bottles that water goes in. And then yesterday with a company that makes the sugar that we eat every day, or most people do. So every day I work with different companies manufacturing different materials and helping them make more of their product, make it more efficiently, or make it more safely for their employees. There's several things. I love processes. As a chemical engineer, you really work with processes. And I love those. I love troubleshooting and solving problems, and then working with the people to train them, to teach them. So while we do sell things, certainly, we do so by teaching. And so every day I get to be an expert in my field and teach people how things work and how to make them better when they may not know. Yeah, so you have to remember this was a long time ago in the 70s. This was before video games existed, before any of that. And I loved puzzles. I loved mechanical puzzles. I love taking things apart and putting it back together and understanding how things work. And literally, that's what I get to do every day. I get to work with things and try to determine how they work, or more importantly, why they aren't working. And so those days of puzzles really taught me how to troubleshoot. It taught me how to see a situation, ask questions, determine what has changed, and what we might do going forward to make it better. So it's exactly the same, just different kinds of puzzles. I think a lot of students would be surprised at, you get into a career and people come to you and think you know everything. And the reality is every day you learn that you don't know everything. And so while I had 4 years of training and I've been in my career now for 37 years since I graduated from college, I still learn every day. There's still things every day that are new, and it's every bit as fun and challenging as it was back when I was learning these concepts for the very first time. Well, the first thing I would tell you is going to be something you may not like to hear. but we learn by iteration. In other words, when you're working on a problem or you're writing a paper or you're solving a math problem, you can't be discouraged because you don't get the answer right away. Learning is absolutely an iterative process, which means you have to fail to learn. And so learning by doing drafts, by trying and failing, and then trying again and failing, you just have to come to grips with that's part of the process and learn to appreciate it and realize that it takes time. You can't do something from start to finish for the first time and then be finished and then, go and do something else. Schedule the time to fail because that's how you learn, and embrace it. Don't fight it. It's really hard to do. I have two daughters who are now grown and in their own careers, and I know it was difficult for them too, but realize that failure is just part of it, and then just keep trying. That's the most important thing.